Keshu is one of the most exciting mares to come on the market anywhere in the world this year, as the dam of a Royal Ascot winner in Merchant, who was also a group winner at Glorious Goodwood, and she hails from a deep, impressive family that has been long nurtured by Jim Bolger.
I know that some of those young bloodstock agents would call her a queen, and I wouldn't disagree with that.
Jim, great to be here at Bolger with your good self and your granddaughter. Talking about Ceistiu, she is, well, she's Bolger through and through. It's a family you've developed and nurtured over the years. Tell us, how did you come to breed Ceistiu in the first place? I mean, how far back does the story go?
It goes back to the second dam. I bought her as a yearling in Goffs, and I bought her for an order, and the order didn't come up, thankfully. So I was left with her, and I went breeding from her then when she finished racing.
How much satisfaction do you get from your breeding operation? I mean, we know you've trained so many Group 1 winners. You've probably won everything there is to win as a trainer. As a breeder, do you get more satisfaction when you breed a Group 1 winner than when you train one, or how does it?
Well, a winner is a winner. Any trainer will tell you that. And on the day, the emphasis is very much on the horse in question, which is the winner. But maybe on the way home from the races, I'd be very happy to know that there was 1, 2 or 3 coming on behind her, and that the mare wasn't too old and we're going to have a future as far as the breeding is concerned.
Clare, what were your memories of the Teofilo days and the New Approach days? I mean, it must have been pretty exciting having your grandfather training these exciting horses, and in some cases having bred them as well.
I suppose I was only not even a teenager at that point yet. I was only 11 or 12 maybe. So you kind of just thought, this is easy, this is how you do it. Because one filtered into another, you know, you Theo and New Approach, there was Lush Lashes, Finch Galbio, Alexander Goldrun. They all came in a heap. And it just seemed like every year there was a good horse, if not 2. And it just made it look so easy. And then I suppose it got a little bit quieter, and you kind of realised that those horses weren't as easy come by as I had initially thought. But I suppose when you're younger and naive, you just think it's very simple. I
just notice with Ceistiu, she's in Folt Memas, and she's also the dam of Slaney View, the 2-year-old that you are very excited about. Tell us a bit more about Slaney View. She's just had a couple of runs so far.
She's the next one in the sequence. She was second to the Phoenix Stakes winner first time out, and the second time she ran, she, after going a couple of 100 yards, she didn't feel right behind, and we think she pulled a muscle leaving the stalls. Finished second. Sorry, no, she didn't. She was third or fourth, but she was lame then that evening and the next day, and we left her off for a few weeks. And at that stage, she'd put on a bit of weight, and we decided that, you know, we'd have to rush her to get her back this year. So we felt she'd done enough as a 2-year-old, and she's my Guineas filly for next year.
And you really mean it. You've trained enough good fillies. I mean, it takes me back to when you trained Finch Galbio. Did she have a little setback when she was a 2-year-old, and then when she was a 3-year-old? Was it she ran in 3 Guineas in 3 weeks or something?
She probably saved Barney Curley's life at the time as well, which is another story. Barney came into the ring after the race at Longchamp, and he had a big drag on the cigar, and he gave me a pat on the back that nearly broke my ribs, and he says, "Well done, Jim." And I said, "Thanks, Barney." I said, "Don't tell me you're still sucking those things. When did you see your doctor last?" So anyway, I felt about 2'6" after that because Barney turned his back and walked away. But I was at home one night on my own, and Barney rang me, and he said, "This is Barney Curley here." Said, "I want to thank you, you've just saved my life. I went to the doctor the following day and I had a bypass on the Tuesday."
So Barney got another 15 years out
He
of
did,
it.
yeah, and did a lot of good with his charity
Absolutely.
work, yeah.
You and Goffs go back quite a way. Finskell Bio was a Goffs Orby graduate. Lush Lashes, Goffs Orby graduate. Park Express was a Goffs foal. New Approach, of course, was a Goffs Orby graduate as well. Have you found it a lucky place over the years?
And Bonimper, you left her out.
Oh, yes.
I bought her there as well. Pat O'Kelly wasn't too happy with the price, but sure, there you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when was the vendor happy with the price? So anyway, she went on to win a bag full of races, and then she went back to Goffs again. And we sold her as a broodmare prospect.
And when you sold her as a broodmare prospect, Jim, you know, she won her Ribblesdale. She was beaten a nose in an Irish Oaks. She was Group 1 class. You could have sent her anywhere. You could have sold her anywhere. Indeed, you could have sold her privately. She could have gone to any sales company in the world. Why did you choose the Goffs November sale?
Well, Henry Beebe had a chiffney on me, and I had no choice. And he guaranteed me that he'd come up with the goods. Yeah, so no, I'd be very confident going to Goffs when you have the goods.
And of course, Clare, Keshtu's now 3-year-old merchant, you consigned him at the Orby sale. He's given you a couple of big days already during the summer, the King George V handicap at Royal Ascot, and then the Gordon Stakes at Glorious Goodwood. As a breeder and as a consigner and as a family, you must all have been jumping up and down with excitement.
Well, absolutely. You know, it's great that Grand has got Royal Ascot winners before and Dad has ridden them and everything, but it's nice to actually have one under the Bolger Guy banner as well. So that was exciting. And then in Goodwood, he had to dig deep that day. You know, ground he hated. Tom Marquand said the wheels were spinning, but he still managed to get in front where it mattered, and I think it proved what a gutsy horse he is.
Jim, Maymas, as we say, has worked with the family before. Just go down to the second. You've got Fidaha, who you sold a few years ago as a yearling to Sheikh Hamdan Shadwell Estates, and they in turn sold her as a broodmare at Goffs, and our friends from Tally-Ho, the O'Callaghan's, bought her, and they're breeding from her, and they're after breeding 3 stakes horses by Maymas. So in many ways, the clue was probably quite obvious as to why you would choose Maymas.
Well, that is true. He'd already worked a couple of times previously with Tony's mare, and so in that regard, it was a no-brainer. But also, he's an outcross too. It's easy to find a sire for mares like Ceistiu being bivocalised. There aren't that many Bold Ruler line mares in Ireland, and he was an outcross for her. So, and having been successful with a lower down branch in the family, as I said, it was a no-brainer. I would describe her as a mare that doesn't need me or Clare Manning or anybody to talk about her. She's going to sell herself. I know that some of those young bloodstock agents would call her a queen, and I wouldn't disagree with that.
Clare, and when we were taking some photographs and filming footage of her earlier, we were trying to get her to prick her ears, and we were all jumping around the place and making noises, and she literally didn't turn a hair. She seems to have the most marvellous temperament, a great way about her.
She's completely unfazed. Very simple, very straightforward. You wouldn't know she's around the place.
You've sold many horses over the years privately and of course at public auction, and plenty of them at Goffs, for which we're very grateful. Do you still get a big kick out of it when a mare you've sold or a yearling or a foal that you've sold goes on and does well for the next man?
Oh yes, of course, yeah. Well, that's important as well from a business point of view. That a seller should never be concerned about what he might be leaving behind. You know, the next person has to have a turn as well, and I'm always glad to see that.
And you must be very proud of the job Clare is doing.
Yeah, I'm both proud and appreciative. She's doing a fine job, and I never have any hesitation in sending her the best that I might have to be sold. And I know she does a first-class job. And at this stage, she knows more buyers than I do, and she'd certainly be more up to speed with the eccentricities of the various buyers, which I wouldn't be. But she wouldn't be showing a horse to a buyer who wanted to have a 2-year-old winner Royal Ascot if it was looking like one that was going to need a mile at the back end. You know, she knows who her customers are, and that's a big help.
And it's important, Clare, isn't it? You know, as your granddad said, knowing your clientele and what they want.
Absolutely. You know, you get people come down to you at the sales and they say, look, just show me what suits me. Could be breeze up lads or lads training. You kind of have a rough idea of their budget or the model of horse they're looking for. In the same way, they'll hand you a list and you might add one on or take one off depending on. And you know, most people are very appreciative of that.